Gentlemen and ladies, welcome. So, Dying Light 2 Beast has been officially announced. Holy shit! Am I excited for this? But I am also slightly disappointed. I wouldn't really say disappointed, but I'm more or less sad. But let's get into it. Dying Light 2 Beast has been officially announced and it's a standalone game. It's not a DLC 2 apparently for Dying Light 2. It was actually originally supposed to be a DLC for Dying Light 2, but then they decided, holy shit, this thing is actually way too big. How about we make this an actual standalone game? So they did. So what does this mean for Dying Light 2? I will talk about that later, but first let's talk about the beast itself. Crane is officially back, and I am very much excited for this. I am very happy that he's officially back, but I'm sort of sad to see. I'm kind of concerned about the fact that Jonas Scott or Aiden might be a little bit thrown out because Jonas Scott has done Aiden extremely well, and he portrayed him very well, and he gave him a really good voice and is a fantastic actor. But I'm sort of sad that he might be that one character that people are going to really forget on this story, but we're gonna have to wait and see. So we're going to be officially playing as Kyle Crane. I'm not going to go into too much detail into the story, but essentially Crane has been experimented for about a decade and has officially escaped and is now hunting for revenge. That's it. It's very simple and there's not much convoluted bullshit, which is very good. And they've also specifically said that they're going to be focusing on a much more linear story than that of Dying Light 2's choices. And I'm a little bit sad about that because there has been a few instances on Dying Light 2 where if you pick a specific option, well, it will definitely change the game entirely. I wouldn't necessarily say it will change the game entirely, but it just sort of changes the mission types. Like if you side with Juan, you will do a mission that will go against Matt, and if you side with Matt, then you will do missions that are against Juan's orders, and yada yada yada. There are definitely some choices here and there from Dying Light 2 that definitely do change some of the missions entirely. So I'm a little bit disappointed that it's not going to exist. But then again, I can understand why, and as well as the factions not being existent. So yeah. And from the trailer, it looks absolutely amazing. The graphics and as well as the lighting and the weather, everything about it just looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm applauding Techland for doing this. But let's talk about a few problems. I think there will not be any DLC for Dying Light 2. They did say that here's the thing. They said that they're not going to be releasing a new DLC for Dying Light 2, but they said that they don't have any plans on making one yet. And Dying Light 2 has like, what, 3 years left to live before it stops getting any new updates, I think? So, I am hoping, this might be a bit of a stretch, but I am hoping we at least get a small expansion pack. That is all I'm asking for Dying Light 2. Add at least one more expansion pack for Dying Light 2 and just done. At least give us one more thing. Even if it's small, give us at least something to enjoy before you cut the ties off with the game. But I'm kind of really hoping that we get Aiden as a playable character, but that's a little bit too much far stretch. Here's what I had in mind when I saw the Dying Light the Beast trailer. I figured that we might have an opportunity to play both Crane and as well as Aiden, but they both have their own different stats. Aiden being much more younger, he would have more movement speed and much more stamina. Meanwhile, Crane being the more grizzled veteran that he has more health and as well as more damage output. But then again, I am probably stretching a bit too much. And it would be kind of cool where you could sort of cycle through either Aiden or Crane when you're playing co-op with your other friends, so not everyone is like playing Crane. I'm not saying like I don't like Crane, I love him. But Aiden is also pretty cool. I like both of these characters. These characters are very cool. Their actors are amazing. But I just, man, I'm hoping we get to play Aiden. Honestly, like, apparently it's going to be an 18-hour story, to say at least, for Dying Light the Beast, which is very exciting. And they're also going to be reintroducing like some sort of a beast mode that you can turn into, which I'm also hoping that they bring in Dying Light 2 because it wasn't really that necessarily utilized that much. It was only for a specific cutscenes, and that's pretty much it. Well, not really cutscenes, but more it was scripted for very specific scenes, and that's pretty much it. So I'm actually hoping that they also bring it back. But then again, Dying Light 2 still has some bit of years left inside, so yeah. What's exactly next? when Dying Light the Beast comes out. I will try and maybe buy it, but I'm not really sure because I'm a little bit short on money, so I don't think I will be able to buy it anytime soon. And for some of you that are concerned on, well, what happens to those who ordered like a digital copy of like Ultimate Edition or have like physical copies of Ultimate Edition, you will get Dying Light the Beast for free. Oh, and Dying Light Ultimate Edition will be completely out of the store at this specific date. I thought I'd let you know. But why am I sad? Well, I'm sad that we're not going to be getting another DLC for Dying Light 2, but I'm really hoping, like, I'm just hoping to God that we actually get a tiny expansion pack for Dying Light 2 because I absolutely love the game. I love it 10 times more than the first game. The problem I had with the first Dying Light is the human enemies being very boring to fight against, and as well as the parkour being stiff. I'm not saying the parkour is bad in the first game. No, it's the complete opposite. But there's a lot of times where it feels very stiff, to say at least. And the story was absolutely garbage. I don't know if I'm the only one that found Dying Light 1's story to be one of the worst because it was so predictable. The only characters I somewhat found interesting in the first game was, what was his name? Kareem, Rise, and Brecken. Jade was another stereotypical strong woman that had a crush on the main character. Raheem was Raheem. I never found any of those characters interesting except for Brecken, Rise, and Kareem, and that's pretty much it. And of course, Crane. For Dying Light 2, there were definitely a lot more characters that I genuinely enjoyed. Juan was interesting, Hakon was interesting, Ader was interesting, Matt was also interesting, and Aiden was also such a good character. And yes, I know Gazi also exists in Dying Light 1, but I don't think I really need to talk about him because I guess I like him. I don't want to start a fight between like Dying Light 1 fans, but like when I finished Dying Light, like I completed the game like maybe 50 times if not more with 1,000 hours, I didn't really know what to do. We're not gonna talk about Beat the Zombie mode. That game was complete garbage because there's so much cheaters and so much exploits and so much bugs that it's practically unplayable on both sides, and it's just nothing. And it's also overwhelmed with nothing but egotistical degenerates that have the emo profile pictures and have like a very depressing quote like "Holy shit, get a fucking sunlight on your face, brother." Holy shit. But regardless, yeah, I'm excited for Dying Light the Beast. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm sorry if this is a bit of a more of a rambling from me because like I am excited but as well as slightly sad at the same time. And we're also going and another thing I should also mention is that all of the progress you made from Dying Light 2 is not going to be transferred onto the other game. Probably because it's a standalone game and not a DLC. So I think that I don't think you'll be able to transfer all of the progress you made from the second game to the Beast. Which I don't really care. I'm okay with starting from the ground up as long as my progress is saved somewhere. But other than that, I do not give two singular shits, but oh well. I also forgot to mention that there's also a sick-ass car, a Ford F-250 if you will. I've never seen Crane be such American in his life to the point where he yanks a goddamn Ford F-250. Or at least I think it's a Ford F-250, but it literally just looks like one. I mean, come on. Crane's American for God's sakes, and if there's a car that he would choose, it would definitely be a Ford F-250. He's a true patriot for that one, so... And I also heard that fuel is going to be very hard to find, which is also a really cool feature, because the following was a very good DLC. Like, I will say that. It was very fun, but finding fuel was, like, literally easy, so yeah. But I'm also kind of hoping that there's a lot of parkour elements onto the Beast because the big problem I had with the following is parkour was literally just in the background. It was something that was almost forgotten, to say at least, so... And there seems to be human enemies with guns. And I am hoping that they're not as annoying as the first Dying Light human enemies with guns because holy shit, they were very frustrating to fight off against because they had pinpoint accuracy, and their shots is also a hit scan, so you can't even dodge it. So yeah, that's the only complaint I can say. But yeah, that's it. Techland, please give us something for Dying Light 2. I know the game is not particularly a big banger, to say at least, but it's a good game. Dying Light 2 is a good game. Do not let others say otherwise. Because as someone who has almost 1,000 hours on Dying Light 2, I think it's a very good game. It's fun, it does have its problems, but Dying Light 1 also has its problems. But people tend to forget about that and always blame it on to the second game. But we're not going to talk about that because if I say anything about the first Dying Light fans, I'm going to end myself be in a fucking pit of fire, fighting with all the... You know what? I'm not going to continue. I'm going to keep my mouth shut for this one. But regardless, yeah. Good grief, I'm tossing myself in a bit of fire. So anyway, yeah. In conclusion, I'm excited, but slightly sad.